Hi all. Right, been away for a little while, not had much time today. Probably not got an awful lot of time now. We were on turn 22. I was talking about just moving on to the US and engineer phase, but there's another event to come, which I was sort of scratching my head thinking, where am I? Where am I with the game before I sat down here? And then I thought, yeah, I think we're in the US and engineer phase. HQ and engineer phase, and then I thought, did we? What was the second event? And I thought I couldn't remember it. That's because we've not done it yet, so it could be a bad start to sitting down, or I suppose it could end up being a good start. There's a few things to talk about though. Uh, um, One blunder that I keep seeming to keep making, but I think I've got away with that. I did make a comment on the video um, when I first talked about it, but then some of the video footage since then, before I realised, which I'd already put together, may well have still been talking about the fact that I've got this hex locked. German communication is not traceable to this hex. Well, this guy's down on the lower ground, and we've talked about this before, and he cannot control these hexes on the higher ground. Now, the reverse is not true, as it says, whereas if he's on the higher ground, he can control the hex in the lower ground. But so he doesn't control this hex. I mean, although this unit controls this hex here, their German communication can trace into this hex and then away. So I got really quite lucky though, because the only thing that happened, this was in, I think all that's happened is just within the last fire phase that I noticed that this guy, I thought he was going to redeploy at first. Now, I'm not sure he would have looked at C1 because there was a couple of other options. However, he did have this unit in his field of fire, and that was such a good result with getting a unit put in there, because it's only brown sporadic fire that fires into there, but this guy's basically going to sit there and just fire into that hex, which is fine by me. You know, he's not going to try and redeploy. So, yeah, I'm annoyed at myself about keep forgetting about this, but it just shows you how easy it can be. If you're on the lower ground, if you're in the draws, you've got to remember that what's up above there, you don't control it. So, hopefully there's no other cases of that appeared. I think, to be honest, he's probably seem to remember talking about something else. But these are probably the only units that are within a draw. Everything else of mine seems to be up on the high ground, or it's still on the beach maybe. Like I say, I made a comment, but you probably would be saying, if you watch a couple of videos after that, you're saying, no, you don't have communication trace that. It's just because I've not actually picked it up yet. And John Brown mentioned it recently as well, and I said, yeah, I've got that, John, I've got that, and I totally forgot all about that as well. I mean, I'd already recorded that, admittedly, but again, it was like, I never even thought to go back on it, and it was only when I was watching back something else, I thought, oh no, and I thought something could redeploy there. I thought, have I missed that? Or reinforced it. I mean, fortunately, we've not had reinforcement units, so that's been good. So, we got away with that one. However, Martin's been making some comments again, and he's picked up a mistake that, to be honest, you know what? See, when I read that, Martin, I thought, well, I would have never picked that up. But see, when I then came to the rule that says it, I remember reading that rule, and I'm pretty sure I actually probably recorded me reading that rule and saying, wow, that's so easy to miss that one. And the rule is 19.33: German artillery fire inhibits engineer operations. An engineer base may not increase its range or provide traffic management during a turn in which German artillery fire occurs in its sector. This includes artillery fire as a result of an event or a fire card. That's a horrible rule. It really is. Now, I've not looked back further. My guess can only be that Martin would have picked it up sooner if I've missed it already. I missed it in the last fire phase because, like I said, I wasn't even thinking about it. Artillery fire, whatever. Let's hit some units. Fair enough. Right, engineer phase. Right, let's move my units. You can't do that. However, I didn't realise it stopped the traffic management as well, which to be honest, it makes sense if it's going to stop your range from going up. So I might need to look back a little because, or do I? Is it just a case of moving these units back one hex? The other thing was I used these with traffic management as well, and not only that, they wouldn't have been in range because I'm going to have to move the range marker down to 2, and also that garrison's going to come away. So there's a lot of stuff to backtrack to get. It's not. It's going to be doable, I believe. Yeah, because it was just the last turn's fire phase. This turn's fire phase had no artillery in it, fortunately. I'm just worried that it might have happened sooner, Martin, but my guess is you might have picked it up, but I don't know. I don't know if you watch everything or not. Um, it's a lot of, I've been putting a lot out there, so maybe I should glance back a couple of turns. Right. He makes another couple of comments. He does say that extended game's been kind to me so far. No Meyer units, yes. I mentioned this as well. No armour, no evil mortar actions. Yeah, I meant to check that. You were saying, does the mortar not need the symbol, Martin? Maybe. I'm not saying that doesn't make it brutal, but I thought it was just a patrol action. Now I could be wrong. So if it is mortar as well, then yeah, it would be brutal. Uh, yeah, as a target symbol, it does need. If no S units with the target symbol shown, yeah. So it does need the target symbol. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad or anything. Yeah, it is, but it does need the symbol. I remember that. I think it's a patrol action does not need the symbol though. But I mean, it just does. It just disrupts, which is bad enough. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree that I feel like things are went pretty good, and even that last fire phase, which have I put that out yet? Oh well, this fire phase here. No, it was this fire phase here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you won't have seen this yet. I've not put that one up yet. Um, so there's even more work here to come. Um, what was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree. I can't argue with that one. I keep saying it, and then when I get something bad happening, like you said, what I got in advance and I lost a step, and I think, oh damn, I lost that, and then, but come on, if you look at the good that you've got away with it, yeah. Um, what was it? Yeah, he also mentioned. I don't know why I never thought about this. When dealing with sorry, when dealing with more complex German actions in a sector, I recommend first marking the active positions. Why did I not think about that? I mean, I've used wee markers on enemy action or den all the time. Why do I not mark the ones that are going to, and then I can look and see a marker rather than, because sometimes you start on one side and you go across the other side and then you come back and then you're looking at all different colours and whatever. So he says marking the active positions and then simply activating them in the correct order. So I believe you spent a little too much time determining which unit should do what in the west. Well, that's me, Martin. He does have in brackets, or was it just a case of lack of beer? Um, Probably the opposite, Martin. To be honest, I don't think I don't think the beer makes me move quicker. But no, that that's just me. I think. Anyway, well, yeah. Thanks for bringing up the engineer, but because yeah, and it is funny. I'm sure I read that. I'm sure if I look back on my previous footage, it might have just been in the first game, but I'm sure I read that out and I thought, well, that's an easy one to forget. And there you go. He's also made another comment in the following video. Well, the second one first. I'll look at. He reckons it's a good place to have put my command post. It can take over where the engineer's traffic management stops, and it says you can then have another HQCP closer to the exit. Well, I read that after I've obviously I've got my HQ down this side. So did you mean an exit up that way, Martin? So I've decided that the HQ is landing on this side. So while you're slapping your forehead right now, yeah. I mean, I think initially I had wanted to bring it in here, but I can see what you're saying, and then try and get these things going down. You know what? Like I say, I've never exited units off the map within this game. This is, I've clearly not played these games as deep as much as I love them. Same enemy action. I clearly hadn't played them deep into the game to find out all the things that you need to do that, because I've not really got a clue what I'm doing. And it was quite similar in enemy action hard down, but so yeah. Well, it's good to know that was a decent place to put the HQ, and that I should have followed it up with another HQ close by it. Well, not close by it, but obviously to take over from that, which makes sense. And then the other one you've mentioned, Martin, as you mentioned, you can choose which division such a unit belongs to. This is the one about crossing the unit over. So these have crossed over. So yeah, you can choose which division that belongs to for an action. As a result, which division you want to spend the action from. So, and as a result, which division you want to spend the action from. I'm going to reply to that one because it still doesn't quite answer my question. I mean, maybe it's just me being stupid here. So I'll ask it here again, but I thought I had made it clear where my confusion was, but maybe not. So I know I can make this part of a first division activation. If I do that, if I say, right, I'm going to activate this as part of the first division's turn, about that turn, could I use a 29th division action marker? And I'm not 100% sure the way it's written. It just might be me being silly. I would have kind of felt like you had to use the action markers from the first division if you're treating it as a first division unit. But I don't think you've answered that. So, although I could be wrong as well. That might just completely answer what I've just said there. Okay. Right, well, we'll leave that for now. Don't think there's anything else for the moment. I think that's enough. So, the thing is, if we're going to look back on further turns, that's a cruel rule, though, because, I mean, we want this rage marker moving up. I mean, it's, if artillery fires every turn, it's not going to move. We're not going to get units up the draw. I'm pretty sure when I played the game before, I've totally blanked that rule. Not deliberately, right, but just missed it. But it is a rule. Okay, I'll see if I can. I'm going to have a wee quick preview and see if I can. I get the feeling we haven't had much artillery fire recently, though, so everything might be okay. Okay, just looking back on things there, and we're good. There was just that. It was just turn 21's fire phase where artillery actually fired in both sectors, like Martin pointed out. So maybe it has been watching everything, because before that, turn 20, we got a card that said 5 artillery needed for a fire on this side, and we only had 3, so it didn't fire. Then I went back to turn 18 or 17, to be honest. I went right back and none of them had any artillery fire, so I think we're all good. One thing I just wanted to check there, it only stops increase of range and traffic management there, Martin. So I don't read in where it says I wouldn't be able to actually place another base. Because you may only place a base or increase the range per division per turn. So that's kind of strange, is it not? An engineer base may not increase its range or provide traffic management. It doesn't say you couldn't build another base. Yeah, so it doesn't actually say that. So if you do get artillery fire, and please correct me if I'm wrong with that one, but I might put that in my reply to you. I've not replied. I just seen your comments recently, so I will say something. You know, and if you realise, right, artillery fire's fired here. I can't increase my range. I can't move any units with traffic management. Right, have I got any other bases though that I might need to place? You know, and okay, I couldn't have here, I couldn't have. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. So, but at least maybe if you were swithering between, oh, I'd like to get the range move in, but I wouldn't mind placing that base, then it could sort of say, well, okay, I can't move the range, I'll place the base, you know. So anyway, so we moved this range from this to this. We shouldn't have been allowed to do that. So I'm going to put that back. And you know what? I'll come back to the other side just in a minute. I better just do this one at a time, or I might get myself all confused. Now, yeah, I'm assuming the HQ and all that's not affected by that. I think I would have remembered. Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah, no, I think it's just engineer stuff, and that makes sense because they're all out there trying to work on the beaches and clear the stuff. You know, if there's artillery firing down, that makes sense. They take cover, they don't get the work done. You know, they can't progress. Fair enough. So, right, and a few things will happen with that then, because I think it's range 3. Well, we just take. Sorry, I've not got that in. Let's try to keep the range 3 in. We just have taken the brown position out, so we do actually have the option to garrison these 2 hexes. Fortunately, these 2 hexes are within 2, so that's good. So I think what I do is I garrison all these 2 hexes, and I also garrison this one. Well, that's not allowed because that's in range 3 and we're only at range 2. So take that away. And just kind of winding time back here, these units, it's right at the last, just before I move over the other side, I realised, wait, now they're within 3, because they were in here, weren't they? So unfortunately, these guys are coming back down. Now, just none of that's affecting anything, because that would have been the last. HQ phase. Right, now I'm getting what? We're not on the HQ phase this turn yet. Right, this is for the last turn. This is for turn 21. So... No, hold on. Right, Grant. I'm not in the HQ phase anymore when I'm moving these units. I'm in my action phase, and I'm getting them a free move illegally from this, and I shouldn't have been able to do that. So I guess I've just got to say it's tough. The guys are sitting there. That's all I can do. I mean, I was swirling about using an action, but I think no, I was going to leave these guys right at the last minute, wasn't it? It was just about when I was about to move. I thought, oh wait a minute, that's within 3. I can give them a traffic management move. So the other traffic management moves that would have been made would have been this and this. So, and the general wasn't. It's not as if they could have got a move with the general, no. Unless I move the general. Right, I'm going to go and have a wee look. I've moved them back because I'm pretty sure that's the case. Okay, so, sorry, and you know what? Just going to move these back just now. Let's just make sure Because as I'm watching the video, obviously I'm seeing the HQ engineer actions. So yes, what I did was I increased the range, which I shouldn't have done, and then I placed garrisons here, here, and here, and I shouldn't have placed the one here. These two are good, however. So then, and then the HQ range goes up by 1, which is fine. So then I go across here, and again artillery fired in this area as well. I initially think about trying to place the base down here. Well, it doesn't look like I can. Now, yeah, there's things happened. Well, blue was still a potential field of fire. No, this unit wasn't here. This happened in the fire phase of this turn. So, but there was no hex. We couldn't place it in red, and we couldn't place it in blue. So there's no hexes available. Yeah, there's nothing. You know, unless you... No, this is underwater though. Yeah, so there was nothing. So I chose to move this up by 1. So again, that would not have been allowed. So this range actually goes back down to 0. And there's a slight knock-on effect because, well, there's only the slight thing. We move this tank, don't we? I think we move it from here to here. I'm just going to double check now. So I'm just going to look into the action phase now, and I think it'll be as I showed there. So give me a sec. Yeah, and it is like I said, I realise these at the last minute should be allowed to get their traffic management, but they are out of range, and these all do actually move with traffic management movement. So I need to knock them back as well. So that is that all fixed on that side. And I think there's just a slight adjustment. I think I decide to move that a tank across the shingle. Well, this hex would not be... Well, he can't give traffic management anyway. So just let me triple check though. Yeah, indeed. That's the last thing that I do, I think, within that action phase is move that across the shingle, which, again, because the range is 0 and there's no traffic management allowed because of the artillery, I'm not allowed to do that. So I'll move that guy back. So, fortunately, we've got a fix on that. I mean, the biggest thing it spoiled for me, I suppose, is not being able to move these units. Yeah. Oh, well, hang on though. We're going to be able to grab it this turn, aren't we? Because we are just about to move. Well, unless we've got this second event to come. That would be horrible if some kind of artillery fired then. Because I just see this unit's going to land in here as well. We're going to have 3 units in here. So it would be nice if we can get a free move from that. So, okay. So we're back on track, I think. And... yeah, but thanks very much for your comments, Martin. Yeah, that one was going to get by me, definitely. Tricky one. Somehow, it's funny how these are tricky to kind of keep in your head. I think that along with, you know, I've been talking about the double, if you see a double R on the card, and then you look at a position, and you say, oh, that's just a single R, let's move on. Well, that's not necessarily the case, so it's one of these easy ones to miss, if you like. Okay, right, let me get a wee space and we'll get this second event card. We'll see if we can get your armour in, Martin, okay? Okay, kind of wish I hadn't said that, but here we go. Right, we are on turn 22 and this is a second event, so a reinforcement could produce some armour. Here we go. 22. It's not a reinforcement. Germans concealed. Disrupt all circle and triangle US units adjacent to unrevealed German reinforcement units. Ew. Right. Unrevealed. Oh, yeah, I was just looking at... I initially just looked at this, but this is revealed, isn't it? Yeah. Not that that's probably the worst one to be looking at. That could be bad. That could be not very nice at all. Okay, so Germans concealed, disrupt all circle and triangle US units adjacent to unrevealed German reinforcement units. Okay, well, there's nothing there. It needs to be adjacent, and it needs to be a reinforcement. No, 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 no. Well, that one's revealed. That one's revealed, and it's adjacent, so we're okay there. That's a WN. Right, well, we know it's going to be worse across this side. So what we got, that's a WN. That's not adjacent. This is adjacent to this. What is that, a circle or a triangle? Oh, it's a diamond. What about that? Oh, that's really good as well. Because that would have really spoilt that, wouldn't it? After us not getting red fire and thinking we were going to get a disruption. Yeah, it's just circle and triangles. How lucky was that? Right now, this one. Well, these guys are already disrupted, so it doesn't really matter about the hero. Well, there's a circle, yeah. Well, I would have let him do something. So he's disrupted. Ah well, this is just that. This is a horrible bit there. There's this blue position, and am I not right in thinking that I had an opportunity at one point to have a go at this, and I chose not to do it for something silly? I was taking the brown position or something, wasn't it? Right. Oh no. Yeah, I knew I couldn't get away with this scot-free. Yeah. This one is revealed. This one is not revealed. That's a triangle. That's a circle. That's horrible. I wasn't sure what I was going to do here, mind you. You know that? Can we still disrupt this, at least? I'm not so sure we can. No, we've got the same force, haven't we? We've got 16 attacking, and we've got this revealed, haven't we? That's cruel. I mean, I didn't know what to do about this because he is going to escape still, the position that we've got at the moment, but, well, that's maybe, it's been taken out of our hands now. So, circles and triangles. So this guy's disrupted, and disrupt all US units adjacent to unrevealed German reinforcement units. Yeah. Yeah, and the triangle, the full strength. Yeah, I think if... Well, mind you, that would only be 19, wouldn't it? We need 20 to disrupt us. So even having that 6 strength guy, but look at that, we had it to be able to do it. And or to even have a go at the red. I mean, no, we wouldn't be do that. We would be having a go at that orange. Oh, that's rotten. That is. Oh, wait a minute. No, not gonna. That wouldn't have been enough anyway. I'm starting to think about getting help from that tank, but it's down on the low ground anyway. No, it's not. It's not a nice event. That. It's just one of the ones that spoil all your plans. Yeah, like I say, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I mean, would it have been better? I don't know. I mean, why do we need to talk about it now? You can't do it, Grant. Well, I could have had a go at this and maybe had a better result, but then again, this guy can escape. Or I could have just disrupted this. Or probably could have eliminated it, but I would have escaped. However, now I've only got 16 strength to attack it with. Can only flank it that once, so can't double flank it. And we're still going to be sitting with these units in intense orange fire. Yuck. Okay. Not good. Not good. Right, well that's an event. Could it have been worse? I don't know. Well, at least there was, we don't mind seeing the reinforcements on the first card when there's none in the box, but I suppose getting it on the second card would have brought in this an armoured unit. Also, they, what is it, the Kampfgruppe Meyer units, is it, or something? I think they come from an event as well. Mark mentioned the fact that we've not seen any of them as well. So, yeah, I mean, is that as bad as all that? Well, it does. I mean, I kind of feel like we can't really do anything here. All we're going to be able to do, well, no. Well, we could have a shot at this because we've got this that can still attack. Actually, that is a 16 attack on that. There's no flank involved there though because we're not adjacent. Oh no, I'm talking rubbish. Sorry, this guy's not ranged. That would be a 10 attack, yeah. That's a different story. 10. So, yeah, no, it needs to be a 2, doesn't it? Yeah, if it's 12, it's worth a shot, but whoops, that could have been bad. Sorry. Right, anyway, we'll get there. It'll be a wee while before we get along to that side anyway. Okay, so engineering HQ phase, so we're back to that now. So this time, well, same again, and artillery has not fired, so I should keep that one in my head now. You'd like to think, but fingers crossed. So again, we have the choice of increasing the range of this one or placing a new one. Blue's still firing down here. There's nothing that we can do. Wait a minute. We could actually place it in there, can't we? And 1, 2, 3. Well, again, I'm not sure about this. Something telling me that it could be a misprint. I dare say, if it was, I would probably find it in a question. I'll maybe go and look it up. Draw E1, maybe it might be under. Could maybe do a search for that. I want to increase the range, don't I? Yeah. And even more so from now realising that if we get artillery fire next turn, I won't be able to increase that range, and I could maybe place this base here. So, yeah. So I'll increase the range because we do want it at 3. And then that now, we can get that garrison marker back and put in the orange position. 1, 2, 3. And then now we can get a movement with these guys. Oh, I forgot this guy's actually not landing yet. That's not until the next turn. Well, yeah, but these guys might have sat there because if I didn't increase the range, so at least now they'll be able to make that movement with the traffic management. Good stuff. Right, and yeah, I guess while we're on that side, we'll move the HQ. There's nothing to stop it. So it actually gets to 3 now as well. So 1, 2, 3. It can grab this guy that moved a wee bit further. 1, 2, 3. It grabs this guy. Well, not sure the relevance of that. Well, however, he can make a 2-hex move into here, so that might mean something. I don't know. Maybe. Might not. I've realised that I'll need to be careful with these 2-step units though, because a 2-step unit that takes a hit, then his control all around them goes away, which I never really considered, but it's simple kind of deduction, if you like. Right, so that's that on that side. We've no other HQs on that side. So this side, yeah, this was a thing. This was a thing. I mean, I know a unit's now popped up in here again, reoccupied. Should I not have... I mean, I moved this a 2-hex move into here. Should I not have put this guy into here? I mean, this unit appearing, you might think, well, it's not a big, it's not a big deal, but I'm still going to have to spend this action now on getting it out. But the other part about it was, and there you go, last turn, if I'd moved that into there, and we had, you know how I had increased the range of this engineer. I mean, okay, I didn't know at the time, but I would have been able to now rewind to take that range back by 1 and place this base in either here or here. Because the red's not firing into him, blue is firing him, but we've got a unit in blue, so that was silly. I felt like that was silly. Oh, and also another thing, it's on my mind, so I'll jump back here. Shouldn't I have put that base there? When I was counting, remember when I think I moved the counter away and I thought, oh, was it there or there? And I actually thought it was there, but it wasn't. I'd placed it there. And that was to capture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was to like get to blue and possibly garrison that. But there should be another engineer base along here that should take care of that eventually, you know? So, and this one, if it was here, could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and take that brown position. And then let that guy move away. So, yeah, I think that's the wrong place to put that. So I think hopefully I'll remember the next time I play it and should maybe mark a big E there on the on that hex. I could be wrong with that. I don't know. It might not make a huge bit of difference, but I was just looking back thinking that yeah, I wish I'd put it there, but hey ho. Okay, so yeah, so where were we? So we still cannot place the base here now because this unit's appeared here. And even when I remove that this turn, if I do remove that this turn, there's still a potential field of fire from blue. So I'm actually hanging about here to try and get red, and look at the state we are to get red. So it was just silly, and yeah, I'm still going to have to attack that. But what I think I might then do the turn after, unless of course this reoccupies again, is maybe just move into there, because this isn't happening and we need to get this base down. Is there a rush for it? Well, yeah, to be honest, there maybe isn't a rush. We've got lots of stuff, and it's not as if we're going to start garrison. Well, okay, there's probably potential to garrison this. Well, not this, and then things are worse here now, so... Anyway, right, so we can't place a base there, so the other alternative is to increase the range on that. So we will now move that up to 1. And again, there was no artillery fire on this side. So, and we've got 2 HQs here, but I don't see myself wanting to place command posts just yet, even if it's allowed. Well, I don't think it is allowed, because red actually does fire on it there, even though he's disrupted. So yeah, so I'm just going to leave that. And yeah, this engineer base wouldn't reach out to garrison anything anyway. So that's that. Right, so on to the US action phase, and that event is leaving a bad taste in my mouth, but Martin's probably still scoffing, saying, yeah, that's nothing compared to the event that I've just had. Whether he's still playing, he's probably you'll be finished your game by now, Martin, if you were still playing along with me. I'm taking far too long in my turns, so look, there's 39 minutes gone, and we've had an event and a engineer phase. So it's probably going to be a long episode, this one, because I'll only do half the fire phase. Admittedly, fire in the east is generally a little bit quicker, he says. Okay. I'm actually not sure I've got the time to start this anyway, so I might just take a cut here. I'm not going to put this up as an episode, but right, I'll cut it now, so rather than rant on a bit. But I'll hopefully put the first part of the action phase attached to this, guys. Okay, I'll be back soon. Cheers.